the hitchhiker in the backseat. I have driven hundreds of miles alone at night, and I always believed that people exaggerated how frightening an empty highway could be. The silence, the darkness, and the endless road never bothered me. That changed during one trip I made to visit my uncle, who lived deep in the mountains. His cabin was nearly 8 hours away from my apartment. After leaving the interstate, there was only one narrow highway cutting through miles of thick forest. There were almost no towns, no gas stations, and barely any traffic. Once you entered that road, you were completely on your own. I started driving late in the evening, hoping to arrive before sunrise. Around 2 a.m., I realized I hadn't seen another vehicle for nearly an hour. The only light came from my headlights stretching across the empty asphalt. After drinking several energy drinks to stay awake, I needed to stop. I pulled onto the gravel shoulder beside a dense forest. The engine clicked softly as it cooled, while the woods remained completely silent. I stepped into the trees just far enough to be hidden from the road. The silence felt unnatural. There were no insects, no birds, not even the sound of wind moving through the branches. Within less than a minute, an uneasy feeling settled over me. It felt as though someone was watching every move I made. I finished as quickly as possible and turned back toward my car. My stomach dropped. A dark-colored SUV was parked behind my car. Its headlights were off. Its engine wasn't running. I was certain it hadn't been there when I stopped. The windows were too dark to see inside, and nobody was standing outside the vehicle. Trying to stay calm, I hurried back to my driver's seat, locked the doors, and started the engine without looking toward the SUV again. I told myself it was probably another traveler taking a short break. Still, something felt wrong. I drove away, refusing to look into my mirrors for almost a full minute. When I finally glanced back, the road was empty. The SUV had vanished. Relief washed over me, but only for a few seconds. Something inside me kept whispering that I wasn't alone. I checked the rearview mirror again. Nothing. Another glance. Still nothing. Then, on the third look, I froze. A man's eyes were staring directly at me from the back seat. He sat perfectly still in the darkness behind me, leaning just enough for his face to appear in the mirror. My hands tightened around the steering wheel. Before I could scream, his deep voice filled the car. "Keep driving." Every muscle in my body locked with fear. "And don't turn around." I couldn't breathe. I whispered, "Please, I don't want any trouble." He ignored me. "Just keep driving." My heart pounded so hard I thought I might pass out. How had he gotten inside my car? The only explanation was that he had slipped in while I was in the woods. For several minutes, neither of us spoke. Every time I accidentally looked into the mirror, I could barely make out his outline. It was as if he purposely stayed hidden in the shadows. 15 endless minutes passed. Curiosity got the better of me. I glanced into the mirror once more. He was already looking back. "Don't look at me!" His scream exploded through the car so loudly that my ears rang. I nearly lost control of the steering wheel. After that, I kept my eyes fixed on the road. A few minutes later, he calmly spoke again. "Pull over." I slowly guided the car onto a narrow dirt path leading into the forest. Farther. I kept driving until trees surrounded us on every side. The road disappeared behind us. "No one will find you here," he whispered. Then came the words I'll never forget. "Keep your eyes forward." I stared at the steering wheel, shaking uncontrollably. Behind me, I heard movement. The back door creaked open. Cold night air rushed into the car. A few seconds later, I sensed someone standing beside my driver's window. I could feel his presence without looking. It felt as though his eyes were inches away from my face. Every instinct screamed at me to turn my head, but I didn't. Half a minute passed. Then I heard slow footsteps moving toward the rear of the vehicle. The car shifted slightly as if someone had climbed inside again. Yet, I never heard the door close. Silence. 1 minute, 2 minutes, 5 minutes. I couldn't tell whether he was inside the car or somewhere outside waiting for me. Finally, I gathered enough courage to glance into the mirror. The back seat was empty. I looked through the side window. Nothing. I searched the forest with trembling eyes. No movement, no footsteps, no breathing, no sign that anyone had ever been there. It was as though the stranger had disappeared into the darkness itself. Without wasting another second, I slammed the car into gear and sped back toward the highway. For the next 2 hours, I checked every mirror every few seconds, expecting to see his face appear again. Eventually, I reached a small town where I stopped at a 24-hour gas station. The cashier immediately noticed something was wrong. My hands were shaking so badly that I could barely hold my wallet. I called the police and told them everything. Officers searched the area where I had stopped. They found no footprints, no abandoned vehicle, no evidence that anyone else had been there. To this day, I still can't explain what happened on that lonely highway. Maybe someone had planned to rob me. Maybe they simply enjoyed terrifying strangers. Or maybe there are some roads where certain travelers should never stop. I still drive long distances, but one rule has stayed with me ever since that night. If I ever feel like someone is watching me on an empty road,